I apologize in advance for the rant, but I feel I'm at my wit's end. I've been in therapy for 5 years now, working on boundaries because my family has none and expects me to not have any either. Any boundary is met with an "you can't do that, we're family." A little background, as this situation is complex. I'm the youngest in my family, 5 of us kids, including my 2 step-siblings. Aged 32, 39, 41, 45, 50, and yet I proverbially have found myself as the family band-aid. My mom, stepdad 65, 62, and my 2 older siblings come to me for every issue they have going on in their life that supersedes any life experiences I've had, as I'm seen as the voice of reason. Including my parents, they won't go to marital counseling, but they'll talk about the other and their issues to me directly. They will badmouth each other and look for a co-signer instead of going directly to that person to communicate an issue. This has become exhausting for me because I have become the one who holds all the family secrets. Both of my parents are actively struggling with addiction. Mom is an alcoholic, stepfather is a veteran hooked on Percocets. I was 11 when my mother divorced our father, but told me things that I shouldn't have known, emotionally dumping on me with all of her trauma in the process. Anytime I try to bring this issue up, my mother gets extremely defensive and reminds me of all the things she's done for me, and that I never rag on my father, but always attack her. This leaves me feeling frustrated and trapped in a way because it invalidates my feelings. I'm expected to hold emotional space for her, and when I want to express myself and things that happened in the past, I'm told to get over it. Other people had it harder than I did. Since I wasn't sexually abused, I had a roof over my head, and no one mistreated me. I somehow feel guilty for expressing my emotions. My family has a long history of not addressing an issue, but sweeping it under the rug and acting as if it never happened. As I've continued to go to therapy, I realize I can't just go along with the unhealthy coping patterns that is part of the dynamic. The healthier I become, the more I realize how dysfunctional everything is. The straw that is breaking the camel's back for me is that my sister recently got divorced after 20 years and has to learn how to live at 44. She is in a state of arrested development. She's never lived on her own, nor paid all of her own bills on her own, spent a lot of time smoking weed. Hubby took care of these things, and thus, she became very comfortable and took a back seat in life and did not accomplish anything for herself. My mother deems her the scapegoat child because she ran away often as a teenager, didn't graduate on time, to get out father's attention. She never received praise and she just could never do anything right. I was deemed the golden child, good grades, didn't run away, etc., but became an anxious overachiever. She spanked us all, but my sister was beaten like a random to make her behave. My mom is not available to her in navigating this new territory, despite they share the same martial path and experience. It's heartbreaking to be in the middle because my mother calls my sister stupid and how she's a deep disappointment behind her back, and we argue because I don't think it's right for a mother to think this way about their child, especially when there is little to no guidance. My mother has saddled me with guiding my sister in her stead, coaching me what to say because she'll only listen to me, but I feel like I can't. I'm ill-equipped experience-wise, and I'm out here trying to figure out my life too. I feel like a substitute parent. I'm always there for her to do all of the emotional heavy lifting, but she needs her mother. I am trying my best to help her navigate this new space. Never been married, as I've lived on my own for 8 years now. My sister is resentful because I've had more life experience, and this makes her feel little somehow. It feels like my sister is okay with being the victim, and she engages in messy behavior for attention because any attention is better than none at all, spreading gossip in the family, digging for gossip, bad-mouthing. She's been engaging in sexually risky behavior to make up for lost time on dating apps without taking the time to go to therapy and find healing. That's a separate story. As anyone who shows her an ounce of affection, she falls for quickly. When I ask her about when she will go to therapy, I get an excuse as to why she hasn't gone yet. Anytime I hold her accountable for tasks that are paramount or ask questions to be helpful, She gets extremely defensive and tries to change the topic, but it's exhausting for me to receive all of the emotional dumping and hear about trauma from childhood when there's little to no effort in seeking emotional/psychological guidance. I realize that is all our conversations are about now, sometimes 4 to 6 hours long of her just dumping. She has now begun following in our mother's footsteps and drinks every night. The other night, she came out and said, "You've always been better. Better teeth, better hair, better body, more accomplishments." It made me feel overwhelmingly uncomfortable because I've always thought my sister was beautiful and once looked up to her. I never knew she was beating herself up like this. It's strange, but I'm starting to feel like she lives for the drama, and she has colorful stories or angles them in a way to get what she needs and control the perception. She will lie or manipulate to get what she needs. I understand this is rooted in a childhood survival tactic, but I don't think she realizes how this has harmed relationships she has within the family and the distrust that it's created. She wallows in her misery and what other people in the past have done to her, and I don't know what to do. My brother, 50, is my mom's favorite, pretty boy, ex-jock, can do no wrong, but has manipulated the family out of a lot of money for his business ventures. He's been married 2.5 times and hasn't made an effort to be present unless he needs something. He's emotionally unavailable and is very corporate most of the time. It seems as though there are no expectations placed on him, as he's removed himself into another ecosystem and inadvertently looks down on the family. He calls me to ask questions about his business from an HR standpoint, but that's it. Occasionally, I will get overwhelmed trying to help everyone and will just disappear for a few days/weeks to recalibrate myself. I don't take phone calls or respond to text messages. I'm called selfish for doing this, that I can't just abandon family, but I feel obligated, and in this obligation, I feel like an old crunchy rag forgotten about in the shower. AITA for wanting to distance myself from my entire family? I literally feel like packing up all of my belongings, picking a spot in the middle of nowhere, and just moving away.